Will Wuthering Waves be dead on arrival? There might be a major problem. Hex Juice just posted this video and we're gonna react to it because I want to know what kind of problems she might be talking about and why could it possibly be dead.
I want to talk about Wuthering Waves because I got a chat message yesterday saying something along the lines of, what do you think about content creators not hyping Wuthering Waves? I kind of had like an immediate sort of like...
Honestly, I'm probably the only one hyping up this game, and I'm probably the only one that puts out as much Wuthering Waves content as possible before release right now. I'm trying to post as much as possible. I'm trying to hype up the game on Twitter as well. So I would say if you haven't tuned in, bro, like definitely subscribe and check out the Twitter because that's where I'm at and that's where I live, bro.
Frustrated reaction to that because
it is frustrating.
My ass wants to make some Wuthering Waves content.
I mean, just do it. I'm doing it right now.
Wuthering Waves is made by Kuro Games. Kuro Games is the same company that made Punishing Gray Raven.
Yes.
People call it PGR.
Yes, we know this.
And PGR is sort of known for being a really good gacha game with really good combat that never got any large...
Yeah, so they did not get any marketing done at all. PGR kind of flopped on that end when it comes to marketing. But right now, the reason why I think Wuthering Waves is going to be very successful is because they are pushing marketing now. They're all over Twitter. They're all over YouTube. They're all over Instagram. They're all over TikTok. And they are posting non-stop ads and spreading the word, which is really good for their end and possibly get even more downloads. I mean, they made it to 20 million pre-registrations. And recently from today's video, if I'm going by the accurate numbers of how many pre-registrations there are now, in a few hours, they went from 20 million from making their announcement to 21 million. So it is possible that they might make it to 30 mil by the end of the month, or maybe even close to the release date. Who knows? If they keep pushing ads and if more content creators start talking about it, then it is a big, very big possibility.
Sweeping popularity or success due primarily to the fact that it was not advertised properly.
Yeah, it was not
at all.
It was horrible.
PGR could have and should have, I think, by most people's standards, done better. But the lack of advertising meant that most people don't even like a lot of people don't even know that it exists.
Yes.
And if they did know that it exists, that doesn't mean that they've necessarily tried playing it. That was like sort of a concern for me always, that this was a company that was known for making good games that they didn't advertise to make them popular.
100%.
There was a global launch trailer 3 weeks ago. They have posted this one Resonator showcase, which I will say for the vast majority of content creators that did try to make content off of this, it did not do well. It didn't do that well for me. It didn't do well for a lot of people. But
wait, what video are you talking about?
Do well for a lot of people, but that is content creators that did try to make content off of this. It did not do well. It didn't do
well. I mean, it depends what doing well means, right? So like if someone is already, this is actually a really good topic to talk about because there's a lot of content creators that have never covered Kuro games, but they're covering Hoyo games, right? The problem that people are saying that, yeah, it's not doing good is because they've been covering Hoyo games for the longest time and they're used to a certain amount of views or engagement that they receive because they've already built off that they're like a Hoyoverse creator per se, right? Or they make only Hoyoverse content. Whereas opposed to if they move on to Kuro, yeah, people are hyped. Some people, they're going to decline in all their views and all that. Like for instance, for me, since I've been covering Wuthering Waves for almost like 2 years already without the game being out, I feel like for my size, I feel like I've been seeing a lot more success for me personally because I'm still growing. But as opposed for someone that like maybe like Braxophone or someone to that level, they can't reach the same amount of views as Hoyoverse because Hoyoverse has a bigger community, that's for sure. That doesn't mean that you can't be successful in Wuthering Waves as a CC. If you're small, there is a lot of opportunity, I believe. I mean, we have to wait until global to see how the numbers go, how the analytics go, and see how long it could actually last, you know?
Do that well for me. It didn't do well for a lot of people, but that is essentially it. They said the release date and have almost not posted any marketing for the game almost at all. I think most people want Wuthering Waves to succeed, to do well. I don't know that very many people think that Wuthering Waves is going to kill Genshin or do better than Genshin.
I don't think it will.
But most people, I think, want Wuthering Waves to be successful and, you know, create some competition, do some new things, have a game that is actually really worth playing every day. And that is not going to happen if there is not advertising. Wuthering Waves 100%. Is coming out in less than a month at this point, and we have gotten almost no new footage, almost no new anything since the beta test, other than this Resonator showcase for Encore, which I like the Resonator showcase.
I mean, I'm gonna give it time. I think honestly, probably the first week or second week of May, we're gonna get a lot of stuff, like a ton. I think we're gonna get some showcases of the characters. We're gonna get a lot of stuff. We're gonna probably get a new trailer. We're probably gonna get some new updated like gameplay for sure. They're just waiting. They're cooking. Like they don't want to show it yet. They really want to push hard closer as they get closer to the global release.
But it was not really what I was waiting to get from Wuthering Waves at this point. The first impression of anything is kind of the most important impression.
Yes,
always.
100%. I agree with you.
Your first impression at an interview is important, right? And I am extremely concerned if the first impression of Wuthering Waves gives flop, that it will have to be like content creators' responsibility to unflop it, which is essentially impossible. Because that is always going to end up being the talking point. Well, Wuthering Waves flopped on release. Am I supposed to take it seriously? It flopped on release. That's always going to be like anybody who doesn't want to give Wuthering Waves their flowers or whatever are always going to say that.
Yeah, they're literally just haters. Like they're just doing that for probably clickbait. You know, I don't think it's going to flop. I highly doubt it. The gameplay is just too good. I've played both betas and I've had way too much fun. I'm just way more excited to be able to play this game every day. Like I cannot wait to play this every day. I cannot wait.
Well, do you market a game that is not marketing itself?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there are ways, but the reality of the situation is that what you have to ask content creators to do, fully generate content off of a game that is not released.
It's really hard. I'm struggling out here just trying to make something, man. It's tough out here. People
have not played. That is interesting. That is realistically not going to do that well because there is not enough hype for Wuthering.
Well, for me personally, I think it's going to do great. But I'm hoping it does great. But for other people, their numbers are going to go down for sure. Like they're sacrificing so much already because the only gacha games that are really popular out right now that people are covering is Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. Unfortunately, some PGR there, but PGR is not as popular. But there is a small handful of PGR content creators that have gotten a pretty good success from them covering that game. But most of it is like sweaty content, very hard content to do. Not a lot of people can do that in the CC space. But there is room for it. And I think Wuthering Waves has an opportunity to do either casual content or even hard content. I think it has room for both sides of the spectrum. So I don't know. That's just what I think.
And I hope that once it releases, that time and money investment will be worth it.
Yeah.
Because for me to make in-depth content about Wuthering Waves, I probably have to take a day off stream, do a bunch of research, look at some beta footage. I got to put together probably some form of like a script. I have to film it and I have to have it edited, most likely off stream. That is not really a super exciting concept for a lot of streamers when they already have games that they cover that they know they can make content for more quickly and get a better return on investment. It's a very difficult thing, and leaving it to creators to hype a game on their own is very rough. I can make, you know, hypothetical content about what I think about certain characters or certain analysis or whatever, but that's based off of beta stuff that was previous to what will be released from Wuthering Waves.
And that's why I've learned from that, because I was posting a lot of guides in CBT1 and too much has changed in CBT1 to CBT2. So like, I'm not making any guides until like I know for sure everyone has a fair shot at making the guides. There's no private server, and until all the kits are set in stone, I don't want to touch any of that type of content until that's all set. So I'm waiting until global.
It's not a particularly attractive concept. The biggest meta around marketing a game like this is the drip marketing. It's how Hoyo does it, right? There are characters that I'm sure were not nearly as interesting to people until Hoyo started doing that really nice, really high quality, really interesting drip marketing. You're already having to compete with Genshin just by nature of being the same genre of game. This is like the only game that has ever been the same genre of Genshin, where it's this sort of open world anime RPG, you know, game. There's not another game.
We don't have any other game
this similar to Genshin. There have been other games that have been,
but there will be, and I will be playing this every day. Every day I'll be maining this game. I cannot wait.
You know, gacha games that have similar qualities. There's been Tower Fantasy and stuff like that, but it's
Tower Fantasy is not that good.
Similar.
It's trash.
This is the most similar game. This is the most direct competitor to Genshin that has ever been released. And there's no marketing. We are going to have to go into a game. If they don't start picking up on marketing, we are going to get some people who will try Wuthering Waves.
I personally feel like this is recorded late, but I don't know.
And probably play until.
And this is really old footage too. This is IGN footage. This is really old stuff. Really old.
If they like Zenless Zone Zero, or they're not going to try it at all because there's not enough hype. I want to make content, but it's super, super difficult. It is super, super difficult to make content about a game where there is almost no material to make content off of. We're talking about a game. We're not talking about philosophy where we can just have thoughts about things. We are talking about a game that is going to release. How do we make content off of a game that is going to release where we only have footage that is out of date? And there's like, there's no marketing. There's like nothing. Marketing prior to the game coming out is
I'm scrapping off pieces off the floor. Like I'm literally like, if I find something, I am going to just make a video and react to it and talk about it for now, because it's all I can do.
Very, very important. What I'm saying? I don't want to be having worries about the game. I want to go, let's go Kuro Games. I can't fucking wait. Well, we can't do that when they don't release anything, and all we can do is like generate hopeful content for the future.
Yeah, that's what I've been making.
Because my goal was to have a bunch of Woo-Wah videos out before the game releases, because I would like to very much invest my time and energy into this game, because I'm really, really excited for it.
It's honestly really nice to see that like we already have a VTuber that's going to be pretty much committed to Wuthering Waves also. It's pretty cool.
Very high difficulty in making content with no content about the game out. Like what are we supposed to make anything about? I am concerned that the lack of marketing for this game is going to make it less and less attractive to make content for this game when it comes out, or to fully invest in this game as a content creator before it comes out. And I want Wuthering Waves to succeed very badly, because I liked Genshin. I love playing Genshin.
Same.
It's an experience that is one of my favorite gaming experiences I ever in a million years. There's not a lot of gaming experiences that compare for me to Genshin Impact.
100%.
And so like, I want to play this game.
Really good takes.
Because if
really
this is
good
Genshin
takes.
Impact, but without all of the shit that made Genshin Impact shitty.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, 100%.
I will take Genshin Impact, but without all of the things that made Genshin Impact not that good and not that fun. Like, gacha games are supported very, very specifically and very heavily by the content creators that make content for those games. And if content creators don't see the game as being profitable and worthwhile,
then they won't cover it, unfortunately. That's probably true.
They'll just go to Zenless Zone Zero, or they'll go back to Honkai Star Rail or Genshin. And there's
100%.
not necessarily a fix for this. I'm going to go ahead and try and make more Wuthering Waves content. I don't really care. I want to play this game so badly. Even if it does terrible for my channel, I might just continue playing it because I'm really excited.
I mean, it's doing great on my channel, so I'm not really worried.
They need to start putting out more advertising more aggressively. If that takes the place of getting some advertising from creators, if that takes the place of doing a creator beta, I don't care. Please. Honestly, my genuine hope at this point that this is a completely irrelevant video like 3 days after I post it. But I'll see you guys later. Bye!
You guys let me know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Wuthering Waves will be dead on arrival? I mean, there was a lot of good takes here. I mean, I can't be mad at the fact that, like, you know, a lot of creators in this space will definitely probably, if they don't see a profit, if they don't see better results than the game that they're currently covering, I understand. Like, why would you want to sacrifice your own business to do something different, and then you know that the results aren't going to be as good or the same? I 100% agree with that. But that doesn't mean that for like smaller creators there's a lot of opportunity for the smaller creators. Like for myself, I've been seeing tons of growth. I've been receiving growth in my own way, but for someone that's already established in a certain niche, whether it's Genshin or Honkai Star Rail or possibly Zenless Zone Zero, I understand, you know, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna play the game that I enjoy. I'm gonna cover the game that I enjoy, and I'm gonna stream the game that I enjoy. I've already streamed this game during CBT 1 and 2, and I 100% enjoyed the game. I had chat was flowing. We were making content. you know, I had the time of my life, man, and I had that spark came back. The spark that I had with Genshin, it came back with Wuthering Waves, and that's how I feel. Oh, so you guys let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about the thoughts and opinions, whatever you want to say. Do you think Hex Juice's takes were good? I thought they were pretty good. A lot of it is exactly how I feel. Thank you for watching. See you guys soon.